Sarah's life story brings a moment of peace along with a profound message. Forgiveness is not about forgetting the past, but about opening the door to a better future. Let us know where you're watching from. Now, relax and enjoy this amazing story. Sarah and Richard had faced many challenges together, including the devastating reality that Richard's battle with testicular cancer would prevent them from having biological children. Sarah herself had suffered 2 miscarriages. Yet, despite these heartbreaking setbacks, their bond remained strong. Their home was filled with love, laughter, and warmth. As time passed, Sarah marked her 40th birthday, while Richard turned 44. Though they never openly discussed it, both longed to hear the laughter of children in their home, to feel the hustle and bustle of tiny feet running around. They decided to adopt. At the children's home, among many hopeful faces, a lively 3-year-old named Kayla captivated Sarah. Despite her limp, Kayla's radiant smile and boundless energy touched Sarah deeply. Sarah felt an instant connection, as if Kayla was meant to be their daughter. "Hello, my name is Sarah. What's your name, sweetie?" The little girl examined Sarah closely. After a few thoughtful moments, she gently wrapped her arms around Sarah and whispered, "Mama." The director of the home, Mrs. Myers, spoke hurriedly. "We need to move on," a teacher gently said, trying to separate the girl from Sarah. But the little one became distressed. Sarah's heart felt heavy and constricted. As they walked away, the director spoke hastily. "I'm so sorry. Kayla has some health issues. We can find you another child." Sarah pulled her hand away from the director's grip and looked toward Richard, trying to read his expression. His face remained unreadable. Without a word, Sarah quickly headed toward the exit. That day marked the end of her inner tranquility. She was haunted by the image of the little girl. After watching Sarah's anguish for 2 weeks, Richard finally broke the silence. "Sarah, please tell me what to do. How can I help?" She looked up, her eyes red and swollen from tears. "Please, find out what's happening with that girl." Richard stared at her in disbelief. "Is all this pain because of her?" Tears flowed freely down Sarah's face as she replied. "Richard, she appears in my dreams every night. Her cries are the only thing I hear. It's tearing me apart." He didn't respond with words. Instead, he embraced her tightly, offering silent comfort as they sat together, lost in their thoughts. The following day seemed just like any other, until Sarah received a mysterious phone call. "Sarah, come quickly. We're at the cafe in the park." Before Sarah could ask who we were and why they were there, Richard had already hung up. Sarah quickly headed to the cafe. To her astonishment, there sat Richard by the window. Opposite him was the little girl from the orphanage, happily enjoying an ice cream cone, attempting to converse with Richard, though he seemed to struggle to understand her. Still, he laughed heartily. Sarah approached, her steps slowing as she neared the table. As Richard looked up and saw her, Kayla's eyes followed, lighting up as she greeted, "Mommy!" From that moment on, Sarah and Kayla became inseparable. Taking a deep breath, Sarah turned to Richard, her voice filled with emotion. "Now that she's here, I hope you understand. I can't bear the thought of letting her go, of hearing her cry again. Please, we need to do something. I know we can make this work." Over the next few years, Sarah and Richard, fueled by love and determination, sought out the best pediatric clinics for Kayla. They were committed to one goal: ensuring Kayla could walk without discomfort. Their hard work, coupled with treatments and relentless perseverance, bore fruit. Kayla no longer walked with a limp, and the hardships she once faced faded into a distant memory. By the time Kayla turned 6, she was firmly rooted in the belief that she was born into this family and that Sarah and Richard were her true parents. Around the same time, Richard received an enticing job offer in a different city. The decision before them was significant. The couple decided to take the job opportunity without much hesitation. Upon their move, Kayla quickly blossomed in her new environment. She emerged as one of the school's star students, excelling academically and participating in a myriad of activities. Her days were filled to the brim, balancing her studies with hobbies and extracurriculars. Despite her busy schedule, Kayla remained a loving and caring daughter. For Sarah and Richard, the line between adopted and biological had blurred long ago. They loved Kayla with every fiber of their being and felt as if she had always been a part of their lives. Her journey was only just beginning, but one thing remained unchanged. High school graduation day finally arrived. Kayla, who once sported innocent pigtails in her younger years, had evolved into a poised young woman with dreams extending beyond the constellations. The day was meant for celebration, marking the end of an era and the beginning of new adventures. Amidst the crowd, a mysterious woman approached Kayla, her eyes filled with years of untold stories, her voice trembling with emotion. She introduced herself as Kayla's birth mother. As she unraveled tales of her trials and the gut-wrenching decision to let Kayla go, the young graduate was overwhelmed by a flood of emotions. Why didn't they ever tell you? Torn between shock, betrayal, and curiosity, Kayla's joyous day took a dark turn. The woman, sensing her vulnerable state, urged Kayla to join her, enticing her with promises of truth and an introduction to a life she had been oblivious to. The celebratory atmosphere of graduation faded for Kayla, replaced by a storm of confusion and sadness. That evening, she sought answers from Sarah and Richard. Understanding the weight of the situation and the inevitability of the truth surfacing in today's digital age, they decided it was time for an open and heartfelt conversation. Kayla felt overwhelmed, unsure of how to broach the subject, but with everyone present, she took a deep breath and began. "Mom, Dad, who was that woman I met earlier today?" The room grew heavy with silence. Sarah and Richard exchanged glances, their faces betraying a mix of fear and guilt. Kayla's heart raced as she awaited an answer. "I love you both so much. You're my world. But why hide the truth from me?" Richard took a deep breath, his brow furrowed, as he searched for the right words. "We didn't deliberately lie, Kayla. We chose to withhold information that we felt might hurt you." Withhold? So now, how should I feel, knowing that another woman has been out there, yearning for me, mourning for me, while I lived in blissful ignorance? Sarah hesitated before responding. "We can't be certain that everything she told you was accurate, Kayla." But the rift had already formed. Sarah's suspicions grew. She believed Kayla might be seeing her birth mother. Kayla began to shut herself off entirely, not uttering a word to either parent. Richard tried time and time again to bridge the gap, but each attempt was met with an icy wall of indifference. The atmosphere at home became stifling. Words were exchanged sparingly, mostly about household necessities. Then, a heartbreaking day arrived. Kayla vanished, taking with her all the valuables from their home. All she left behind was a note for Sarah and Richard. "I'm going where I'm needed. My birth mother is sick and penniless. I need to be there for her. Don't search for me. You managed without me once. You can do it again." That was the moment Sarah's world shifted once more. Friends couldn't understand why Sarah and Richard never tried to find Kayla, but Sarah believed in respecting Kayla's choices. A glimmer of hope arrived in the form of a letter and a photograph. The photograph showed Kayla, radiant with happiness, standing beside the mysterious woman. The accompanying note conveyed Kayla's newfound joy with her biological mother. This revelation, while offering some comfort, could not erase the harsh realities of life. The prolonged stress took a toll on Richard's health, and he passed away after suffering 2 consecutive heart attacks. Just like that, Sarah found herself alone. Years of solitude made Sarah retreat inward. The walls of her home echoed the deafening silence of her heartache, pushing her outside for solace. She often walked by the memorable park, the site of countless family memories, but she couldn't muster the courage to step inside. One day, while lost in thought, Sarah was suddenly tugged gently by the sleeve. A frail girl, no older than 4, was handing back Sarah's dropped wallet. The child's ragged clothes and thin frame indicated neglect, sparking a protective instinct in Sarah. Sarah tried to engage her in conversation, but the girl's silence and gestures suggested she might be deaf or mute. "Want some ice cream?" The girl's eyes lit up with a nod. They approached a nearby stall, and Sarah ordered ice cream along with some cookies. As Sarah rummaged through her wallet to pay, the girl's gaze fixed on a photograph tucked inside. She pointed to the image and whispered, "Mama." "What's wrong, sweetie? Why are you crying?" But the girl only repeated, "Mama." Her voice choked with emotion, her fingers still pointing at the photo. Sarah, confused, tried to comfort her. A small crowd began to gather, their expressions a mix of concern and curiosity. A woman stepped forward, gently patting the little girl's back. "That's Sally. She lives on our street. Her mom, Kayla, is in the hospital, and her grandma had left a long time ago. She's been wandering about, probably looking for her mom. A neighbor's dog frightened her some months ago, and she's been quiet since. Kayla has been trying to handle everything, but it's clear Sally needs medical attention." Sarah gasped at the mention of Kayla's name. "Please, can you take me to Kayla?" Inside the hospital, Kayla sat on a bed, grappling with the pain from her appendicitis. She thought about the paycheck she was expecting in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Sally was at home by herself. Well, not exactly alone. Leslie, Kayla's mother, was there. But in Kayla's eyes, having Leslie around was like being alone. She was more concerned with her own needs than caring for others. She made Kayla believe that she had been searching for her all her life, and that her adoptive parents had purposely hidden Kayla from her. Being young and impressionable, Kayla had believed most of what Leslie said. After all, she saw resemblances between herself and Leslie, but it didn't take long for Kayla to see Leslie's true colors. Overwhelmed with shame for betraying her adoptive parents, Kayla couldn't face them again. When her adoptive father later passed away, the weight of guilt grew even heavier. She felt certain that her adoptive mother must detest her by now. Then, Kayla met Nate. She fell deeply in love and became pregnant with Sally. Upon hearing the news, Nate denied responsibility and cut ties with her. Kayla missed Sally, but didn't know what to do. Suddenly, a tiny hand gripped hers, pulling Kayla from her reverie. Eyes wide open, she gasped, "Sally? Sally?" Despite the sudden surge of joy, pain jabbed at her side when she tried to sit up too quickly. Wincing, she took a moment to recover, then pulled Sally into a tender embrace, tears forming. "How did you manage to find me here? It's so far from home." Kayla peppered Sally with kisses, completely oblivious to another figure in the room. A soft voice spoke up from the foot of the bed. "Hello, Kayla." Startled, Kayla's gaze met Sarah's. Tears flowed freely as Kayla confronted the enormity of her past decisions. The pain and regret were evident in her eyes as she whispered apologies to Sarah, seeking the forgiveness she felt she hardly deserved. "From the very first day you came into my life, Kayla, you were a beacon of happiness. Despite the heartaches I faced with miscarriages and the pain of losing my husband, I always believed fate brought you to me. When you left, my heart was shattered, yes, but anger or hatred never clouded my feelings for you. I understood your motivations, even if I didn't agree with them. You sought to help your biological mother. She had her struggles, and while I can't condone all her choices, I'm grateful to her for one undeniable gift." Sarah's heartfelt words pierced Kayla's heart, drawing fresh tears. Their pain and love intermingled in the silence that followed. "Mom, I'm so sorry. My youth and emotions clouded my judgment. I've passed by our home many times, even visited Dad's grave, but fear and shame kept me from facing you. I want you back home, Kayla. You remain the most precious part of my life, regardless of past actions." Days later, as Kayla prepared for discharge from the hospital, Sally clung to her side, adorned in a new, beautiful dress. Standing beside them, Sarah looked visibly rejuvenated, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. Ready to head home, you two? Absolutely. Home, Grandma. Mommy. That night, the warm glow of Sarah's dining room was punctuated by the delicious aroma of dinner. Kayla, Sally, and Sarah worked together, laughing and chatting as they prepared salads and decorated the birthday cake. The house echoed with love and understanding. The table was adorned with vibrant dishes, the room filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and the tantalizing aroma of the evening's meal. One day, Sarah slowly made her way to the familiar park, each step brimming with memories of the past. The park was not just an ordinary place for Sarah. It was a testament to life's unexpected turns and the power of human connection. As she meandered through the winding paths, Sarah paused by the very bench where their lives had first intertwined. She could almost picture Kayla's young face, filled with innocence and curiosity. The memory felt like both a moment and a lifetime ago. Through every challenge, she had chosen the path of understanding and compassion. In doing so, she had created a legacy of love and warmth around her. Taking a deep breath, she felt peace wash over her. With her heart full, Sarah turned away from the park, ready to continue her journey. Family is not just where we are born, it is where we are loved, accepted, and willing to sacrifice for one another. Love and kindness can change the fate of anyone. Are you willing to forgive and welcome back those who once left you, just as Sarah did? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, give it a like and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to hear more inspiring stories. Goodbye, and see you soon.